It's Superhero, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
It's 4:52 p.m. right now. It's crazy because I forgot that I put Alexa on pause earlier, and so sometimes I'll ask her to play. I'll ask her to play something. I'll say, "Hey, can you play this?" And a lot of times she'll play that. Now sometimes I can't think right at that moment of what I want wanted her to play. So a lot of times I can't think of it right then and there, and I'll just be like, Alexa, play, and then there'll be like a 3-second pause, and I'm trying to think about it, and then she'll just choose something for me. And she'll be like, oh, I'll play something that you like, and all of a sudden she usually play a playlist that I had listened to earlier or something, within the week or what have you. So I was going to say, Alexa, play Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Young. And I was going to ask her to play that, but I just blanked at the name. So I just happened to say, Alexa, play, and so then it finished up I guess it was in the middle of playing like a what do you call it? It was me and Julio down by the schoolyard. I forgot that earlier it was playing that, and I told her to pause because I was learning some music for this upcoming February 20th show. So I was playing some music, so I put her on pause. And so I forgot that was the song that it was on pause. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. And so what was interesting was she just started playing it, and then the very next song is a Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young song. Our house is a very, very tiny house. A very, very small, or very, very, very small house or something. I don't know. Our house is a very, very, very small house. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, you heard it here live, folks. Synchronicity in action. Wow, that was pretty awesome. Oh, what? Are they shooting something on the street? Oh my God. I think they're shooting a movie around here. So I was leaving the apartment just now. Yep, there's a security guard out there. It's only a matter of time until I find the honey wagons around here. Makeup trailers. Wow. In your own yard. Isn't that crazy? When you live out in California, this type of stuff happens all the time. And it happens all the time. It's abundant. Productions are abundant out here. So, I'm in Jenny's car right now, going to pick her up from Chicago. And, as I was exiting, the guy downstairs had a scuba tank and his suit. He had a suit flung over a lawn chair, and then the oxygen tank just right there. And it's just so crazy. I'm like, wow, are you doing some scuba out there? He goes, I'm checking for leaks. He's checking it out in the hot tub. I thought, man, that's pretty cool. And he's the same guy who actually, when our cat Oliver, Jenny's cat Oliver, escaped, we didn't know where he was at. It turns out that I guess Oliver went running around in the apartment complex, and a nice neighbor ended up getting a hold of him and holding on to him for us overnight. And that was the guy downstairs. I didn't even realize the guy right downstairs. So there he was out in the backyard doing some stuff with scuba. So that's a first. That's a first.
Turn it into a freaking filming location. So they
Oh.
the neighbors are just
Oh boy.
furious.
So they got this really nice house, and they're like, okay, we're
And they
just going to
rent
keep
it out.
renting it out.
Yeah.
And all the neighbors got to just deal with all this
Deal with-
craziness all the
it's-
time.
Yeah. So I mean, And the filming in LA now, because of all the different streaming services and all that, it's out of freaking control. There's so much filming going on. And
Wow.
They can't even fill like our spots. They can't even fill them. You know what I mean? It's crazy how much filming's going on.
It's amazing. It's movie magic at its finest. It's so crazy because...
But people complain, but
Yeah.
it brings so much money into this city.
Right, and it's crazy because the same people are complaining are watching those same shows that are being shot in their neighborhood. So it's so funny.
They've never done it in my neighborhood, and I don't know if I could deal with it.
What are they shooting here? Do you know?
The Rookie. TV
The Rookie.
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it out yet, or is this like a new
Yeah,
thing?
this is, I think, the second season of it.
Do you have your SAG card?
Good.
A lot of the security guys have SAG cards because
No.
they end up getting going, hey, come on, be in this scene or whatever.
They don't want this and this.
Oh, okay.
No, we're all, well, they have different people. They have this private security guys, and like I'm retired LAPD.
Oh, gotcha.
And we do traffic control stuff. We're the
Oh.
only ones allowed to do that. Security guards do the, hey, you can't park here sort of thing on the street.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
they're directed by the studios. We're just here to have traffic flow.
Oh,
basically.
gotcha.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. But, yeah.
It's kind of fascinating, actually. I mean, it's just really quite fascinating.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
Okay, I could tell.
So it's like, I remember the very first time I came out here to visit, I was visiting an old friend of mine, and I'd see like stuff like this just going
Yeah.
on everywhere, and it's like, what the heck? Like, that's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
And so that was part of the reason what inspired me to move out here was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, whoa, I could live in live in a world where there are just stuff like this getting,
Yeah.
commercial shot over there, and
Yeah, yeah.
friggin' soap opera over here,
Yeah.
reality show over there, and like, I can't believe the Brady house is close by. I was there with my dad. He was in town. And I said,
yeah.
Dad, let's go check out the Brady house. It's around here somewhere. And then it was a whole nother world that it's so funny. You just move down. Like, if you just go down to like another block or so, it's like, what the heck? It seems like a whole different
Yeah. I know.
town.
I know exactly
And,
what you're talking about.
and
Yeah.
just like by the Brady house, I'm like,
Yeah.
what the heck? I didn't know this whole, it's like I went into a portal. I'm like, I didn't know this whole land existed
I know.
here.
I know. Yep. Yeah. Like I say, I just couldn't take it anymore with the traffic and the crowds. I got the heck out of here.
Were you ever an actor? Were you ever like a part of this type
No,
of stuff?
I was LAPD, and then when I retired, I just got into.
You didn't work
this.
on chips or anything?
No, I did these. They call them movie jobs for us, and I did them in the late '80s, and I just got burnt out, and I kind of put it off. Got involved in other things, and then when I got close to retirement, I figured, yeah, let me see if I can get back into it again. And
Okay, she stepped out to you.
but yeah,
Yeah, it's
a lot.
cool. You get to meet all kinds of interesting actors and all
Yeah,
kinds
yeah.
of people. You're like, I'm sure would just blow your mind. You're like, whoa, my God, I was just watching you on TV, and here you are.
Well, what's weird about that is I watch stuff, and I don't watch the actors.
Uh-huh.
I watch
Okay.
like background and locations and stuff.
Right.
Especially ones that I worked. Yeah, and by the way, I could work like this will be a 14-hour day for me. And this is a little different because I'm not near the shooting, but on some of them where I'll do like all day, 14, 15 hours, and I'm seeing the filming, seeing the scene, whatever they're doing, and then I'll go watch the TV show or the movie.
Got it.
Boom, 2 seconds.
Oh,
they save
it-
so much money.
I know, it's
So
nuts.
much money.
It's nuts. Where, like, you're like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, there was dialogue for this
I
thing, and you
know.
guys totally, like, just had no
It's like,
problem.
what
Just
happened? Where'd it go?
Yeah.
I know.
It's so nuts how that
happens
is.
a lot. But I tend to look at background where stuff was shot, background actors, because the background actors are fun.
You
to
probably
watch.
recognize a lot of them, and you're like, oh, I remember seeing that
Well,
dude.
they're fun to watch, especially in like TV series, sitcoms and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. They all want to be discovered.
Oh, yeah.
So you see them in the background doing overacting.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
over accentuating. Yeah,
'Cause they
yeah,
wanna
yeah.
Be seen, you know. And it's kind of fun to watch them.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it is. It's funny.
And
it's
it's
funny.
fun to sit and listen to them. I just kind of listen to them, and they all have done this, that, and the other thing, and they call an actor by their first name, and my next big thing is this, and I feel for
Yeah,
them. They're
yeah.
trying to get into it, and it ain't gonna. I mean, it's like the lottery, man. If you're gonna actually hit, but
Well, it's interesting. I used to do extra work when I first moved out here and stand-in work and stuff, and,
Yeah.
and it was interesting because then you start seeing the people that you're familiar with. You're like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
it's that dude.
Yeah,
I worked
yeah,
with him on
yeah,
this thing,
yeah,
and
I know.
there he is in the background. And
yeah.
it was just, it's so funny because you just hear the same kind of recycled
I know.
complaints and stuff over and over again.
there was one guy, I'll never forget it. It was like at a supermarket, and there was he was just a background guy, and he's supposed to come out with some bags. And so they'd roll, and he'd come out, and he'd trip, and the groceries would come out, you know, and they're like, God. And he did like 4 times different things to be noticed.
Oh, kind of a stunt. Oh, my God. They threw him out?
Yeah.
They didn't like what he was doing?
He was trying to be discovered.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no, this is...
That is so funny.
It's interesting.
It's so funny. It's a whole subculture of
It
life
is.
that goes on.
Oh, it is. And it's huge here. It's just a big thing. I mean, that's why LA is what it is, because of the studios and stuff.
Wow. Well, hey, man, I got to bust out here. What's your name?
Tim.
I'm Curt. Nice to meet you,
Nice
man.
to meet you, too.
You take care. This is so cool that this is
Sorry
going on.
about this pain in the ass.
Oh, that's all right. Right when I turned the corner, there was an empty spot right there. It was perfect. So cool. There's a whole... yeah, as you said, there's that show that's being shot. Rookie down the street. So I've never seen this show before. If you've seen it, let me know. Do you watch it? Is it on? Is it on, or is it just a new thing, brand new thing? Gotta leave a note to myself as to where I parked this. Oh, yeah. So, there you go. You heard it. You heard it. You heard it here. This is a rarity to be able to hear the behind-the-scenes stuff with people. How cool is that? So, if you live out in California, that's probably, commonplace for you to see stuff getting shot all over the place. Commercial here, student film over there, new media, TV pilot over here. All kinds of stuff. All kinds. So when you live in a town like that, it's crazy how that could be something like that commonplace. It's just so strange to me that something like that can be commonplace. So crazy, so weird. It's so interesting, huh? Whereas if you're living in Kentucky, I mean, I don't know, maybe movies and stuff being shot out there is just as commonplace. Who knows? I don't know. But you do, if you live out there. You know what it's like. So it's interesting how in different cultures, different subcultures, there are things that just become commonplace. Oh, by the way, I just got the new Mad magazine in the mail. And it's beautiful. They're starting to pack in old Mad magazine material. For those of you who know what The Lighter Side of by Dave Berg is, The Lighter Side of, you'll be pleased to know that in this issue, they put in his very first ever Lighter Side of, the very first one ever. It's so cool because you get to see the art, the original art, how it was. And it's so cool because they're bringing in this old material from back in the day, and they're putting it into the magazines. And so now, the people who are just now coming across Mad Magazine, now they're being introduced to this it's like a historical, it's like a time travel thing. They get to see how magazine has evolved through the years, which is awesome because that's so cool. They get to actually see the that information just stamped right in there, that archive. So cool. That's and then of course those who read it way back in the day, they can read this and go, oh my gosh, that's so cool, and then just sort of reminisce in that. Jason McNeil has a bunch of, I think all of my old Mad magazines in his basement, along with my comic books. And God bless him for keeping them in there. I don't know if they're still in there, but holy moly. Just to think, like my Tick comics, my Mad Mag comics, my, what is it? What is it called? Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. Whoops. Come on. No. Dark Knight Returns. Hi, guys. There we go. So, yeah. Isn't that interesting? A TV show being shot right on my own street. Incredible, huh? Incredible. And just the other day, we went location scouting for our movie. Look at that. Just the other day, we went location scouting, and now we got people over here who are using locations near to me. It's so intriguing when you see how this stuff reflects right back to you, huh? Wow. More stuff like this to come later. It's 4:17 right now. February 20th. I'm heading up to the subway to take my way out to tonight's gig at the Harvard Yard Bar with Monty, Oblivion, and The Dark Roads. So that's who's playing tonight. My sister Jenny will be playing the cajon, which is a kind of a rectangular wooden box, but you tap on it. You sit on top of it and you tap the sides of it. It's kind of a conga, but not really, because it's a box, but it makes good sounds. They have some really high-tech cajons out there in the world. This one does the trick, and Jenny will be playing that tonight along with me. And going over these songs. There's some new ones that have never been played live before, and I've really been trying to hammer out those details. One of the dreams was to play a couple of short films. It popped into my mind, oh yeah, wouldn't that be cool to play a couple of short films during our set. And then Katie and Monty, they said they thought I was talking about playing movies behind us while we were projecting visuals onto the screen behind us while we were playing music. So that's still a possibility. So I made something really simple, pretty much a GIF, pretty much a looping GIF, but I made like a 45 minute thing, so that way I figure my set's not going to be much more than a half hour. However, she said I could play a little bit past a half hour if I wanted to, so we just don't know. I was going to bring my laptop. I figured, what I did was I saved it onto a thumb drive And so then I was just going to play that just right out of the laptop. But then I realized, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to, I don't know. I'm not going to bring the laptop. Turns out it's just makes me hot. It's heavy. So I just have my guitar right now. I got my uke slung over my back. And we'll be getting on the train before we know it. This place is called the Harvard Yard Bar. It's out in Koreatown. My plan is to get up there about between 5:30. I think Jenny's going to try to show up there at about 6 or so. So we'll see. Apparently the doors open at 8 or 8:30. I saw 2 different stories. One that said 8 o'clock and one that said 8:30. So we'll see what happens. What I'm thinking is if I get up there early enough, I'm sure there's going to be a sound check, microphone check, and whatnot. I'm so conditioned with Yachtley crew and showing up to these places really early. I'm so conditioned. I mean, not that I'm showing up really early to this one. Not really early. Doors open at 8 or 8:30. I mean, it's possible that I think I'm going to probably be the first one to play. Maybe I'll play at 9. Who knows? Maybe I'll play at 9. Maybe I'll play at... Not really sure how long they have allotted for the other guys. Not really certain. Pardon me while I make a note to myself to move. Let's see. Move a car that's parked out there. Let's see. Here we go. Move car. There we go. There we go. All right. So I have the video on a flash drive in my pocket. I don't have my laptop with me, just because I do have. Oh no, I don't. Oh, that was the other thing too. I was going to bring my iPad. That's inside the case. It's inside the backpack that I didn't bring. But these are things. These are things you come to realizations about as you find yourself traveling deeper down the rabbit hole. After all, you cannot see what progress you've made unless you first carve. You have to first start carving. You have to start somewhere. You have to start carving in a direction. Then you find out either you're carving in the direction you intended or you're carving in the opposite direction. However, maybe you like that direction better. Maybe that's more appealing to you accidentally. And then you just keep going. And you just follow your heart, I suppose. So, this is one of those things. Yes, I left the laptop back there. Yes, I left the iPad back there. It's not essential, however. It might be nice if we get some videos tonight and or streaming live on one of our favorite services, perhaps Instagram. I was thinking Periscope. We shall see. We shall see. That is all for now. More later. I'll probably catch some behind-the-scenes stuff during sound check, or even some interviews with the guys before they go on stage. All right. Thank you for hanging in there with me.
Yo, this is Pauly Shores. I'm usually cool, calm, and collected, but I need to call and rant, and I feel like this is the place. I will be heard in an unjudged, fair manner. So here, this is my beef. My brother Stony Shores is one of the most creative, collaborative, honest, loving human being. And I feel like he is getting ripped off. His ideas are original. And unless he's getting some major kickback, Facebook has completely and unabashedly and shamefully stolen Stony Shores, a.k.a. Doobie McDonald's idea. For those of you who follow the icon, the pop culture phenomenon, Doobie McDonald, let me back up a little bit. If you've not heard of Doobie McDonald, you need to get off that Twitter chat, Facebook feed, and redirect your complete and undivided attention to the YouTube videos. That's right, I did mention another social media platform, YouTube. Doobie McDonald. Genius. He's a soothsayer. He is a trendsetter. Facebook has now stolen and completely taken his idea. You're all aware of the Kazoo Facebook Club. They have videos that are complete ripoffs of Doobie McDonald's creation. Years ago, you'll see it. The same scene, joyous, happy, big smiles, collaboration, I might add, of kazoo enthusiasts. You'll see the same video created. Doobie McDonald, you'll have to tell my brother Stony Shores so that he can tell us when exactly that video and that idea was so beautifully and geniusly, and you could tell the future. You knew you had your finger on the pulse of what this world we live in needs most. Kazoolapalooza. I feel better. I hope that those of you who were not aware of the situation have felt enlightened and not threatened. I think you'll see that I'm not too far off the mark in my analysis of Facebook's treachery and thievery and unoriginal.
Look. I have it in my notes somewhere.
You wrote down the dream that you're telling me right now.
Yeah, just Samurai. He's laughing because I told him.
Oh my God, yes, please. I got to hear this. Please read this to me.
All right, I got
This
you.
was your dream?
Dream, murder.
This is blowing my mind.
Dream, murder in paradise. The dream was so long that I can't remember much of it at all, but I remember.
It is beautiful. He's going to read me this whole thing.
I'm going to read you
Oh my God,
as
this
soon
is
as I woke up.
I love the fact that you wrote this down right when you woke up. I love this.
Dream, murder in paradise. Yeah. The dream was so long that I can't remember much of it at all, but I remember a murderer is running from a little girl who's chasing him through golden hills where the sun is setting. It all started at some family's house. Something's going down and there are two brothers, an elder and me. The elder is the worst of all. He's done something terrible, but we both are murderers. Something goes down, I can't remember what, and the eldest brother, I believe, gets killed, as well as one of the family members of the house we are at. Sorry, it's pretty choppy because I just woke up.
No, understandable.
All right, so now I, the younger brother, begin to run. I'm running through golden hills while the sun is setting. The family has fallen behind, and now it's just their little girl and me chasing behind me with a knife. She's much smaller than me. She's trying to convince me to let her kill me. Although very serious, she speaks to me in a sweet way. Finally, she's caught up to me, and I've stopped running. We begin to fight for the knife. Because I am grown and she is not, I pry the knife from her hand. Then a flash of her, almost as a newspaper clipping, shows her dead in front of me. Then back to reality. I don't have the heart to kill her. I get the feeling that I've done terrible things before, and I can't remember what. But whatever I've done, I don't want to do them again. So I give her the knife and tell her to kill me. The sun's almost set now, and I watch the shadows of light sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
The sun's
awesome. This is fascinating.
The sun's almost set, and I watch the shadows of light on the golden hills before me. She sits behind me, holding my head. She presses her tiny knife on my neck, under my ear. She puts it in and it feels strange. I begin to die. I pull the knife out and throw it forward. Blood flows freely. But the little girl behind me continues to hold me and talk to me. Soon I am dead, but I can still see everything. She holds me until her family comes and she leaves. And
This is incredible. That was your dream?
That was my dream.
That was insane, dude.
That was the weirdest dream I've ever had. Actually, not the weirdest, but it was pretty weird. Yeah.
That's incredible. You sat down and wrote and actually.
But that was the
dictated
end.
that.
Like I do remember like chasing a guy down and doing like him and his dog. But I don't even remember. I remember my brother.
Incredible.
Like I don't even have an older brother. But I remember it was
incredible.
I remember it was like a fucking big movie. Like I deserve to die. I remember that. Like I remember like deserving to die. And then this
you were
little
like accepting
this
your
little
sacrifice
pure girl. Like I
already.
remember being on top of
Tiny
her
girl.
and like flipping it on her and being like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Trying to end it, but then being like, I can't do it again. I can't. And then I'm like, all right, dropping the knife and being like, kill me. Like I'm not this. That's the only way it can end.
Wow.
And then I remember feeling it in the back of my neck. It felt so weird, because it felt so
you
weird.
actually felt it in your dream.
I remember
like a lucid dream.
It was so
Vivid.
real. Like I felt it poking my spine, and I like pulled it
Whoa,
out because
whoa,
I was
whoa.
so scared.
Whoa, dude.
And as soon as I pulled it out, blood was flowing, and she
Whoa.
talked to me, and I died. Like it was intense.
So it was really vivid.
It was
I
the
mean,
most
you felt it like a real life.
I woke up like shook, but I woke up dead. Like I was like.
And you remember that whole past before it, huh? You remember that whole past?
What happened? All I remember is I deserved it. All I remember, I don't remember exactly what happens, but I remember like it was like a movie, and I was a different person. I hurt people.
Whoa!
I hurt people and did bad things, and then I remember like what the little girl was like a pure like God force, and she was coming after me.
Incredible.
And I had the option to kill her. I was on top
my
of her,
God.
and I saw her dead in front of me, and I was
That's
like,
intense.
I can't do it. And I let her kill me.
Whoa, man.
That's just fine, right? Damn,
That's
bro.
incredible,
Like,
you
really
guys.
went hard with that just now, bro. Fuck yeah, bro.
I know. I wanted to make it a comic or like a movie, but I remember
Dude.
waking up and being like,
It
"Yo, I
sounds
gotta
like
write this down. This
it
is
sounds
crazy."
like a crazy episode. You know, it sounds like that last ending in the episode.
It
and
was-
bam! And all of
that
a
was
sudden
the
the
end.
credits
That was
come
the
up.
most, just like I don't
This
know,
unexpected ending.
Yeah.
I just like I wish I remember what happened before it. I just remember being like, like
You're trying to remember like what led up to that, right? The
yeah, like
dominoes
what did I
that
do
went
to like put myself in that? I mean,
because you felt that you deserved getting jabbed.
yeah, like
jabbed in the
I
head.
gave her the knife and she killed me, you know. But
This is so intriguing, you guys.
and what was weird was I was like looking up, and then I was dead on the ground. I couldn't move, and then her family came. And they were like, all right, you killed him, and then they left. And I was just like, on the
Whoa!
ground.
So they were like celebrating that you were dead.
They were happy. They weren't sad. I was dead. But then
How many family members would you say were there?
we did something bad to them. Like I remember my brother.
Like they were
Like,
victims. The family.
They were
was?
victims. Yeah, they were chasing us down.
So you got the idea that you and your brother were like a Jesse James type of thing.
pretty much.
Like you and your brother were kind
I
of like
remember
these
killing.
cohorts
Like
and
I
stuff.
do remember. Like I don't remember what happens, but I remember being a witness to like my brother do something pretty. Like he killed a guy and his dog or some shit like that.
And so was she the daughter of the family?
she was. Yeah, she.
So she was kind of
But
getting
I,
revenge.
like I don't even. I just remember like being somewhere. Some shit went down, and then I'm running, and then all of a sudden, this little girl is running after me.
Dude, incredible.
It was-
That
it was-
is vivid,
It was a
man.
most vivid dream I've had. Yeah.
Whoa, man.
But that happened like 3 days ago.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
So, and you wrote it down right away?
Yeah,
In your
I woke
notes,
up,
right?
but you know the fucked up part was I barely remembered it. Like I was trying to piece it together in my head.
It's intriguing. See, that's the thing. When you don't edit it, when you just let it come out how it was, it comes out as something quite extraordinary, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
No,
that was
thank you.
incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Tonight.
Dude, thank you.
Welcome to our nest. We recycle our silhouettes when we curtain on. As we go downtown. Children are days from the cradle to death. So take what you can get. But what comes next? Or do you sink into the sea? God is a computer. Day and night it beats. God is a computer. Day and night it beats. So the pictures in the big stories, demonology and cigarette burns. But plot holes and glaring omissions made it hard to believe.
I got great footage, man. Hey, thanks.
all over the place.
Thank you so much for playing with me up there. I've got half of everything that I ever planned for. Every single thing I planned for just wilted before my eyes. Oh God. It all just wilted before my eyes. I planned so much. I had so much in my brain. Like, you want a drink? That bartender makes them strong. Really strong. I love that. It's great. This is great. So I just now learned that there are two artists that are named Baby. Basically, there's Da Baby and Lil Baby. Of course, my absurd mind is thinking, oh, what do they have? Like a baby mascot, big old baby that comes up out on stage. Well, I learned from the bartender here that, yes, for sure, there is a big baby that comes out on stage. And apparently Lil Baby and Da Baby are friends with each other. So I'm thinking of making a rap name called Baby Baby. Baby Baby. know if I mentioned this earlier or not. However, I would say it's worth repeating. When I was on the subway, there's a guy who came on there, and he was on there playing Beatles songs. And so I didn't have any cash. However, I happened to have some Yachtley crew picks on me. So I gave him a Yachtley crew pick. I go, I don't have any cash, but here's a Yachtley crew pick. Here's a pick. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. He goes, perfect timing. I was just playing my guitar with my tap card. So he was using the corner of his tap card as a pick, as a strumming mechanism. And I ended up giving him a Yachtley crew pick, and it was just the perfect timing. So I just love how that synchronicity came about. Stuff like that all over the place.
Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Isn't this where the auditions are for Yachtley Crew?
Thank you, Maria Humphreys from Strong Body, Strong Soul, for your contribution. You have passed the auditions, and when it comes time for Yachtley Crew to play live and invite the ladies to sing with us up on stage, you better believe that you are first in line for consideration. I'm heading up to Second City, Hollywood right now to see John Krauser, a fellow cough maniac. He's in a Second City troupe. They're going to be playing tonight. This is just what the doctor ordered. I've been reading that book, Ensemble, about Chicago theater, and they're talking all about Second City. So this is really cool. This will be really great. This is the second time that I will be meeting him in person. So this will be fun to be in the midst of Second City, seeing it all unfold, seeing the improv. This one's called Impractical Magic. So on my way up here, I'm just sitting here thinking that I kind of look like a magician. Or at least I should say I imagine a magician. This is a character, a magician with long hair. And his hair is basically an assistant. So it assists him in his magic tricks. So it's like tentacles. The hair in itself, it's like a living thing. So things disappear, appear, disappear, whatnot, because it's hiding in his hair. I talk about doves. I'm talking about scepters. I'm talking about fire wands. I'm talking about juggling materials. I'm talking about tennis balls. Whatever, it's... Imagine the hair just juggling. It's like nothing. Juggling. Or it's like lighting up candles. Or it's plugging in a special light for added effect. So that's what I imagine. A magician with long hair, and it in fact, and that's not to say that he doesn't have an extra assistant. He might have an extra assistant. And it's not to say that that's necessary or not necessary or unnecessary, in which case it's something that is just an additional shenanigan, additional shenanigan. All right. That's about it for now. I'll talk more later. I think what I might end up doing is doing a whole brand new podcast. You're hearing about me going up to go see the show. I am going to make a podcast about the show, people who are in the show. So we're going to interview these guys. So it'll be fun to hear their stories. All right? More later. It's 9:48 right now. The show starts at 10. I've stopped by Second City, and they told me that the oh, here we are.
There you go.
Good to see you again. Told me they usually start filing people in around 5 minutes until the show. I'm now walking up the stairs. Walking up the stairs. Hey. You excited or what?
Yes, sir.
You're on the podcast right now.
I'm on the podcast.
Yeah. So, how'd you guys end up getting out here?
We did a show in Chicago. Not similar at all. This is a whole new show. We did a show in Chicago. They liked us. They're like, hey, you want to come out for a day? I'm like, yes. So we wrote an entire new show. It's not even the same show as it was in December. It's completely brand new. So we're hyped. We've been doing this for like almost 3 months rehearsing. So this is the first time it's in, in front of an audience.
You're going to be moving to different areas, it seems.
I'm going to New York. I don't know if it's this show we're doing or something new. I don't even know how many of them are coming with, but we'll figure it out. I have a show in Chicago in March still. I have a whole brand new show in March I'm doing. After that, I'll worry about May.
So what happened? You started taking classes at Second City, and then they were like, here are these openings to perform?
I pitched it. I just straight up was like, hey, here's my show. And they're like, hey, we like it. Here's 4 Fridays or here's 4 Saturdays. And it's just been, I'm on my 3rd run of it now. And I get paid. We get paid for it too. That's depending on how many people we have. We sold out every show in December for this. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's surreal how like I just kind of started as a hobby. And now I'm like here in LA, booked at a show, and it's wild.
It's crazy because it just takes that kind of bravery to just go through with it and go, okay, this is something I want to do, and you have no idea how it's going to end up.
You've known I've always wanted to do this. You probably did too. This guy saw me in my early years, like just being goofy around kids.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Being goofy around kids.
That's what I call it.
Brain freak.
Brain freak. Yeah, brain freak. Yeah.
I remember Blunder.
That's another character.
Do these guys like pop up in your shows at all ever?
Brain Freak does. He'll be in this one briefly.
Oh, that's great.
Briefly. I think we're about to go in. I don't know.
All right.
I'll
record you guys more later. I'll get everybody's stories.
Hang out in the lounge after the show. I'm going to come after the show.
Great. Hey, you guys were great up there. I'm Curt. Nice to meet you. I'm friends with John. I mean, this is so kick-ass to you guys. To see the Chicagoans up on stage, man, doing
big deal. I had never done a show in LA before. This is my first.
So are you guys touring with this show? Or are you going places?
Well, we started in Chicago, and then we got this like one-time thing that we're like, why not? He just said that he got New York, but I think a few of us have some shows, some other shows. We gotta figure it out. But it's been really cool.
And this is your first time out here in Los Angeles?
I mean, I had never even seen the theater until I got here today, and I was like, okay, whatever.
It's great, and it's great to see all these photos of all the
Isn't it great? Have you been to the Chicago one?
Have I what?
Have you been to the Chicago Second City?
I took classes out in Second City out in Chicago. Yeah.
Oh my God. So,
I'm from Chicago, so it was just really great to see you guys out here. Oh yeah.
That's so great.
Like Yes and ensemble stuff is like so near and dear to me. And when I moved out here, I realized just like how spoiled I was when I came out here. Because you're so spoiled when you realize that everybody is with you, know, and there's no competition within.
Oh yeah.
It's just pure collaboration.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so.
And that's why I think like the Chicago theater community is so great because they have that sort of like improv kernel and like that carries them through to like be supportive and like give more than you're getting and that kind of stuff. That's why I love Chicago.
And it's beautiful because it really it inspires you to really experiment and really stretch out with your imagination.
And stretch out and not just to be like get rid of the ego when you're just like, no, I'm just gonna be here with my partner and see like what the fuck happens.
Well, it's great because I'm reading this and it's a really really big book. It's called Ensemble,
Yeah.
and it's all about the history of Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
Like it came out a few months ago, and it's great because a lot of my friends and teachers that I had at Columbia College are quoted in this thing. So it's like it's so cool to see them. And I never even realized when I was going to Columbia, like, just how deep into it. Like, there's a picture of a guy named Jim Zulovic, who is with Second City Chicago, who's up on the wall over there. So it was really cool. Unfortunately, he's passed away at this point. But I remember seeing him on the Second City stages, going there, and then when I went to Columbia College, he ended up being one of my teachers. So it was like, it was so crazy. And then to come out here, and then there he is up on the wall. This is my first time being at this building ever here tonight. So it's just really, I mean, everything about tonight is really cool.
And that's the thing about Chicago too, is it's such a small, like it's a big city, but it's a very small city too.
Yeah.
Like if you see a director or performer that you really like, it's easy to like stay in touch with them and like kind of keep up and see what they're doing.
Yeah, you might end up finding yourself in a production with them at some point. And it's so crazy because like reading this book, it's so cool because you can see the lineage, you can see how everybody was included with, like, nobody had any competition with all these other theaters. All these theaters were up and coming at the same time. And so actors over here were working at theaters over here, and then directors over here were working at theaters over there, and nobody had any issue with it. And it was just beautiful. And it was so great to see you come out playing your ukulele, right? Oh my God, it was just so great to see everybody.
She picked it up, we talked about the song like once, and the next word was just like, okay, I got it, like no problem, like so
It's an easy song.
so great. I think
It's
your
great.
timer's going, by the way.
Oh, this is my podcast. Yeah.
Oh, are you recording?
I'm recording you guys. Yeah.
Nice.
I know.
I to the podcast?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Him and I used to do podcasts all the time together. Yeah.
So I have my own podcast. It's called Inspirado Projecto. So the whole idea is that it inspires me and I project it out there. And the thing is that like I always meet just tons of really interesting people out on the streets, whether it's on the subway or at street corners and stuff. And so I end up having them as my guests, like just on my podcast. And then I also have a radio show too. So it's like it's so inspiring for me to be able to share all these great.
And like in the moment too.
That's the thing too, because when it's in the moment, then it's like it's
You can't rehearse anything. It's just like
it's an inescapable. It's a moment that you can no longer ever have again.
Yeah, like improv.
And the cool thing is like these are all like archives for my future self, because my future self is like thinking back to this day, at this moment in time, when this happened, and it's like it's so crazy because like right now it's happening in now, but in the future self, this is all just a memory in his brain.
You're writing your memoir.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's like a journal and a diary in the same.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful thing. Technology that we have the ability to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's great. Well, it was such a pleasure. Thank you.
Are there any Instagram pages or anything that you want to like promote to anybody or anything?
I'm an actor in Chicago, so follow me on Madeline P. Gross 1 on Instagram. Madeline P. Gross 1. That's me. See my shows. I have an upcoming short film coming out, so see that. See it all. Follow me.
See that.
Love
See
it.
it all. What's the name of your short film?
The name of the short film is Playland. It's kind of a futuristic film where a mother loses her child and turns to virtual reality to continue to have a relationship. It's very deep, very Black Mirror. It's gonna have an effect for sure. Yeah, it's great.
Is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's your name, by the way?
My name is Stephanie Saltiel, and you can follow me on Insta at SJ Saltiel. And that's it. I think no numbers. I hope that is it. And I have an upcoming show at Second City Chicago. It's called Are You Still Watching? It's a streaming content parody, super fun show. It's going to be a lot of improv. We got a ton of really, really talented and funny cast members. Very excited for that. And yeah, hopefully more to come. And I also do stand-up, so catch me in open mics.
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
She's really fucking funny.
You got tentacles. You got tentacles that stretch
And
far.
also a mediocre ukulele player.
There you go. The world's best mediocre ukulele.
Yes, the greatest mediocre that ever lived.
The greatest mediocre, yes.
She's truly awesome.
Player. Oh my God. I
It's
love
been a
it.
pleasure working with her, yeah.
It was so great seeing you all up there having fun.
Thank
and
you
just,
so much for coming.
Oh
It was
yeah.
a blast.
It was great. It was great. Thank you. It's been a while since I've heard intense crow discussions. Let's go hear what they got to say. Whatever they're discussing up there sounds very important. Very important. I'm going to start enunciating more for this podcast. I realize a lot of times my mission is more about getting the feeling down, getting the ideas down, and I am forgetting about actually talking in a way that is understandable and clear and concise. A lot of times I mumble over what I'm saying. I just mumble it. And then I realize, well, if my sentiments are, if my intentions are to tell a story or to leave some information for my future self, then wouldn't it be good for me to make sure that I'm legible? Legible, you can use that word, right? It doesn't just have to be stuff that you write down. Legible can be what you're saying too, I think. Legible, legitimate. That's the root word of legible, isn't it? Legitimate? Legitimate. Legit. Ledger. Legal. Huh. It's interesting because LEG is basically the root of that. So does that mean like the legs that you're standing on? I think that's what that means. Like something that is legal. It's something that is legal. Something that is strong. It's there and firm. It's a foundation. That's interesting. Foundation. Key word of foundation. Isn't that interesting? It's found. So you can be a founder. So you started the thing. Does that mean you found something that no one else saw and you decided to start it up? Maybe. Founder. Foundation. Founding. The founding. Words are an amazing puzzle just on their own. If you really just dive deep down the rabbit hole of words of the I almost said etymology. It's not etymology, is it? It's not ethnography either. Entomology? No. No. What is that? No, what is it? It's like linguistics, but it goes along with that. Linguistics and those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. But the study of language, the root words, the suffixes, the prefixes, I'm going to plant this little seed in your brain. This is my little, and it's not a challenge. This is my curiosity, I suppose, to plant in your brain. Listen to the words that you're using. Notice the words that others are using. What are the roots of those words? That's something to think about. What are the roots of those words? What is it? Break it down. A foundation. Ation is like nation, station, Asian, like action. Foundation. Foundation. You found it. You started it. And this is the act of it. This is the act of starting it. The foundation. The nation of founding. Foundation. So there you go. There's a little bit of vocabulary acrobatics for you.
So thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you.
My name is Doobie McDonald. It's good to see you, Mr. Mayor and the City Council. I want to talk about Kazoo Day, Thursday on the 28th. Living it up in Uptown. Gonna turn that frown right upside down. Put your lips on to the kazoo, babe. Blow a little bit, now you're doing the doobie. Living it up in Uptown. Gonna turn that frown right upside down. Ring a ding dang. Loud kazoobla. Buzz, 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 I'm a bearded Buddha. Living it up in Uptown. Gonna turn that frown right upside down. Kazoo Day coming on the 28th. Don't know about you, but I can't wait. I wanna march along Greenleaf, see the merchants. Ain't nothing but a good time. Shh. No disturbance. You don't need no decibel reader. Just follow Dewey, I'm your leader. Police Chief Singer and Captain Piper are there to make sure nobody gets hyper. They put the band on 13 kinds of noise, but I got a voice for the girls and boys. You can shut down sound, but whatever you do, don't mess around with a man's kazoo. Baby, thank you very much.
How do I follow that?
His last one.
Good evening, council members.